Well, howdy everybody here in YouTube land. This is amateur artist Mark D. Chandler once again from Man Land, and this here episode is all about them there bowl peanuts. Now there's been some folks out there that want to know how we do it. Well, I don't know. I do my bowl peanuts my way, but my boss man does it his way. So I'm trying to replicate what he's doing, and it's a nightmare. You see, when he does bowl peanuts, he does them by the bushel. A bushel, according to his research that he did online, I ain't checked the facts on this, so I don't know. But a bushel of raw peanuts, the jumbo sizes, are around 30 to 35 pounds. Now, I don't know. I ain't fact checked this. Now, I got my bowl peanuts there from Walmart. They're in a loose bin, and you know them plastic bags you yank off there to throw your bananas in? Yeah. Well, I crammed one of them things full. They were like $1.98 a pound, a little over 4 pounds. This thing cost me over $8. They're a lot cheaper when you buy a bowl of peanuts in a can, especially big gallon size. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out the recipe. Now, I've been at work, so Wee sat there and put these bowl peanuts on the stove there, and she had them boiling for an hour. 1 hour. Once they come to a rolling boil. And then she placed, and let me show you what we've done so far. Now this right here is some Walmart salt. It's great value brand, and it's around 48 cents a container. Now I'm using just a little over 4 pounds, and we put about a third of this in there. So whatever this side right here happens to be, which I think is 26 ounces, which is 1 pound 10 ounces. I'm going by a volume measurement. She put roughly about a third of this salt in there. Now also we added some crab oil. Now he uses powdered crab oil. I couldn't find none at Walmart. So what I done and had to improvise is give me some of this here liquid crab oil, Catawampus brand, and we put the whole bottle in that there 4 pound package. And I just did a little taste test. It's got quite a bite, which may not be a bad thing. So it's not really too salty at this point, but it's got a lot of Catawampus crab bowl goodness. Yeah, it does. A little bit too much for me right at this moment. But we're not drinking the broth. We've got to have a strong broth just so them peanuts can absorb that flavor. Now what she did, she put them in there, heated them up, and brought them to a rolling boil for 1 hour. Then she turns them off. Then, after 1 hour of soaking, we got to turn them back on, boil them for 2 hours, turn them back off, and then let them set for 24 hours. Now here's them bowl goobers right there. Man, I tell you what, don't that pretty. I'm sorry about for the light in here, y'all, but this is all we can do. They're in the soaking mode right now, and them things are nice sizes. Look at them things, man. Man, don't that pretty. I'm telling you, that right. And they smell good, but right now that Catawampus taste, it is a mite overpowering. You might have to add a little salt to it a little bit later on, but what we're going to do is we're going to give it a taste test before we start the second boiling process, and I'm going to taste them. If it needs a little extra salt, we shall. But I don't know how these are going to turn out because I am doing this blindsided. We reduced the mixture, we're using totally different mixtures, and we're having to do it all. Yeah, as we go along. Now I'd like to also add onto this that this here salt right here, this is the non-iodized stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You know why the government puts iodine in your salt, don't you? Well, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, you don't really want to pickle, can, or anything like that with iodized salt. They always tell you to use a kosher salt, or at least non-iodized. Now that's foremost, that is just it. That's the Bible of cooking. But for folks who sit there and want salty food as they eat, well, it's okay to have a little iodine in if you want to. That is, if you trust our government. You know why they put that in there, don't you? Yeah, it's so they can sit there and keep you dumb. That way you keep paying your taxes and you don't ever complain. You don't talk back to them. That's the whole reason they put that iodine in there. Okay, that's a little bit of conspiracy theory there, but I ain't guilty of conspiracy theories. I just know what I know. You know what I'm saying? Alright folks, an hour's been up. It's kind of cooled down a bit. We just turned it back on, but we got to do a taste test to find out if there's anything else we need to add to this. Yeah. So I'm dipping my tablespoon here into the broth, and I'm gonna do a taste test here on camera. If I can hold the camera steady and the spoon at the same time. Smooth. Just right. Alright, we shouldn't have went with a whole bottle of that liquid ground ball, but woo! Well, you gotta remember when you're boiling peanuts, that's a hard shell. And you want this thing to sit there and soak in this so that goodness can get into the peanut. And it's gotta penetrate that hard shell, unless that shell's got a crack in it, a hole in it, or something like that. Yeah, it's gotta get in there. So the final result will be in the final result. Now we're gonna let this thing boil for 2 more hours. Then we're gonna shut it off and let it soak for 24 hours. And I know me, I'll be taste testing as I go along. But right now, I got some crab boil heartburn from hell. Whew! I think it's gonna be some good peanuts at the end of it. And I'm not cooking it. Wee doing this. Yeah. Remember, if it don't work, you can always blame it on Wee.
It's always my fault.
That's right. Got them peanuts back on boil again for the 2-hour period. And Wee doesn't seem to have a lid for this pot, but you see I kind of improvised. Yeah. That right there is the Ozark Trails 10-inch skillet. Man, who tells me that Ozark ain't no good cast iron? Yeah, look at them peanuts, man. We're about, a good 20 minutes into the 2-hour boil there. Trying to help trap some of that there steam. Gonna make sure this don't boil over, because usually when you put a lid on the pot, it boils over. I've got just enough gap. Maybe, yeah, you see a little gap right there. All the way around to allow some of this steam to vent and help prevent it from superheating so the water doesn't just boil over and mess up the stove. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, man, ingenuity. Well, you know, it's just because I like stainless steel and Ozark Trails cast iron. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is now the next morning, and I gotta be at work. Well, I gotta leave for work at 5:30, and I woke up about 3. So I came up here to the kitchen, checked them there peanuts, and man, yeah, you see them steaming. I checked them. They started to get some good flavor for that little bit of time that we soaked them overnight. But some of them were still a little bit crunchy, so we cooked them on the second round 2 hours and 15 minutes. I got up this morning, turned them back on, gave them another good solid hour. Yeah. I tried a couple of them. Them dudes are nice and tasty. But now we're gonna go ahead and let them actually soak for the rest of the entire day. And when I get in this afternoon, we'll give them a check. It's going to be a little less than 24 hours in the soaking time, but hey, that's the whole idea. We want to get that flavor in there. So this recipe varies on how you cook, how you don't cook, this, that, and the other. I'm going to give them a good stir before I leave. Folks, I just got home from work. It's about 5 p.m. These peanuts have been soaking since I've been at work. I ain't tested them yet. I don't even know. I'm going to set the camera up. We're going to grab one out. But before I do that, let me just show you. They've been soaking. Looks like the cast iron is still sitting up there. Hey, got a little bit of a rusty look to it. That's not rust. That's gum. What do you call that stuff? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but there is the peanuts. Let's see how much liquid's in there. It should have really reduced. If the peanuts did their job and soaked it up, we ought to be in good shape. So, hey, that looked like a good one. It was kind of sitting on top. We're going to give this one here a go. Let me set the camera up. Y'all can taste it, or watch me taste it for the very first time. There's one of them peanuts. A little kind of like smushed in on one side. The other side looks pretty daggum good. And let's see if it got some flavor to it. Remember, crack one in. Soak the juice out. Suck the juice out. Other end, same thing. Woo! Wow. Still a little bit of salt. A little bit salty. Got one of the peanuts right there. This is one of the peanuts that was sitting on top. It got some heat to it from the crab boil. It's not really salty. The peanut itself, not really salty. It's about perfect. But as we bag these things up, they'll probably get saltier, no doubt. What I've done here as a quick fix, I poured about half that broth out and I added more tap water to it. Put enough water to just cover the peanuts, maybe about a quarter to a half inch above it. Got it back on the stove, heating back up. Shouldn't have to do this because them peanuts are already done, but I want to make sure that tap water is at a boil to sanitize that water. I'm going to turn it back off, let that soak for an additional, well, it's going to be another additional 24 hours, ain't no doubt about it. But I'm going to put it inside the refrigerator before I go to bed tonight because I didn't get no bags to freeze these puppies with. The intention is to freeze these peanuts, yeah, if they last that long. They may not even make it to the freezer. They're pretty daggum good as they are, but still a little bit too salty. Just I'd say about half the amount of salt in there. I think that crab boil must have had a lot of salt in it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. We'll update you tomorrow.
And all I taste is
We'll be right back.
banana pepper.
Banana pepper?
Yeah.
The hell you say?
Not banana, but red pepper.
Oh yeah, a little red pepper. Look, it's raining. Dadgummit again.
We're in a burn ban.
Burn ban. All this rain coming down. The only day off I got with real cool weather, and it's raining. So, can't do no campfire in the rain, and there's still a burn ban.
And
So we got pine firewood, bushcraft junkyard grill, and we got Bones Company. So we turn a bad situation into a good situation. Now folks, I sat there and tried to correct a mistake. This has been about 3 days later. We pour the broth out, put water in, we boiled it for another hour, then it's been sitting in the refrigerator after cooling down for about 3 days, good and cold. So far, everyone has said they love them. Let's see what Bone has to say on the subject.
just sucking on the hull, these will go good with some purple hull peas. Man, that is good.
But is it too salty?
No.
Thank you. That's what happens when you take a recipe and you try to reverse engineer it because of the amount of peanuts that you have to use.
But they're straight out of the refrigerator. They're not hot, they're not warmed up.
Definitely is.
That really is good, man.
Hot dang. I got something right after all. Yeah. Now, I want to thank y'all for watching this here peanut boiling video. Y'all have yourselves a good one. From amateur artist Mark D. Chandler and the finger of Boneyard.
This ain't Cajun style. This is man land yards style. Oh, I gotta get that in 5-second rule. From time to time, I come to Manland 121 in Wee Wee's world. I usually bring the food with me and I do the cooking. And Manland, he be doing the cooking too. From time to time. Because I don't come here to eat. I just come here and associate. But when I do come to eat, and Wee Wee does the cooking, I ain't gonna be invited no more. She cooks them chili, people, and she scorched the bottom of it. And that's nasty. Nasty, nasty. She's looking through the window.
I see, she's looking at you. She's listening to you. She's laughing.
Ain't no harm in it. The day's done. You got to stir the chili. You got to stir the chili. If not, and you're gonna eat it, you gotta go to McDonald's. Bottom line. You gonna go to McDonald's, bottom line.
Don't use a stainless steel toothpick.
I know that. I didn't
That's right. You should have used that cast iron, like man told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I learned something.
Yeah. McDonald's, here I come. It was nasty. It was burnt. I've been burnt stuff myself, but I don't tell nobody. Wee wee!
Open the door. The ball got something to you.
When the ankle, no. When the knee is tender, you don't wrap the ankle. Okay? Okay. It's a metaphor.
You keep it up, you're going to need a medic 4.
No diggity, no doubt.